Good evening, everybody. This is Dan live on a Tuesday. It is Tuesday, isn't it, Richard?
Yes, it is Tuesday, last time I checked.
This is our first episode of Musician's Corner, and this show is going to be about the music done by small-time local bands, but from all over the world, you know. People that are amateurs or semi-pro but haven't made it big yet. And we're going to be focusing a lot on their music, only on their music, during these shows. And tonight, I'm joined by Richard Bowen, who owns Whale Hunter Records, and we're going to play a couple of songs he brought in and talk about the music business. How you doing, Richard?
I'm doing all right this evening. Thanks for having me here.
All right. Richard is one of the best, if not the best, sound mixers I've ever come across.
Oh,
it's true.
Shoot.
Years ago, there was a couple of musicians that came into my show, and that was Brain Freeze. Who was that? We have one of his songs now, the two you brought in.
Chris Youngblood.
Chris Youngblood and...
maybe Justin?
Justin Lowen, yes. And they came into the studio, and we did a little show with those two. And Richard, that's when I first heard their music, and I was actually amazed at the mixing quality. For some reason, somehow, Richard is able to make you hear the entire song, all the instruments in perfect harmony, and yet at the same time still able to hear each instrument and each voice individually. Now that's an art.
Oh, you're making me blush, man.
Actually, he is.
I do. I love refining the craft. I love working on it, and sitting there and listen. I can listen to a single bar of music hundreds of times and not get sick of it, just because I enjoy perfecting the little pieces.
That's patience. That's patience I don't have.
Yep, but I don't carry that patience across everywhere. There's a lot of things. A lot of times I get impatient, but when it comes to music, I love making it. I love listening to it, and I think I'll probably be working on music in some way, shape, or form until I'm pushing up daisies. Yeah. If I have my way, I will be.
Now, how long have you owned Whale? Well, you started Whale Hunter Records. How long has it been?
Well, it was really it started as a thought in my brain in 2005, and I don't think we put out our first album. I want to say we released Jake Trineri's album, The Juanita Sessions, in 2008. And since then, we've put out 5 releases, and we're getting ready to have our 6th come out. So, we're not a meat factory. We don't crank out a dozen releases a year. In fact, my last release was Chasted's album, the Deleted Scenes EP, and I think we put that out. It's either 2 years or 3 years this December. And since then, I've just been working on Chris Youngblood's second album, which we've got a couple of tracks we're going to get to listen to here tonight off of that.
All right, and I did a music video with Richard for Matzamillion, and I'm not a big fan of rap music. As a matter of fact, I generally dislike it. But one of the things that was kind of funny, the rap artists have that reputation for being hard to work with, profane, vulgar, nasty.
Oh, Mike's one of the most humble, and pleasant people in the world.
Of all the music videos I've worked on over the years, and I couldn't even count them all at this point, he was one of the easiest people to work with.
Yeah, he's a great dude, and we still have that music video was Authorized Dealer, and I've still got that up on my YouTube channel, my Whale Hunter Records YouTube channel, and it still gets views. I mean,
Richard played a cop in it that busted.
Yes, I played a chubby cop.
We took up the streets of Martinsburg, West Virginia, and in and around this church down there, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was actually his father is the pastor there, so he was kind enough to grant Mike permission to shoot there, and that's where we did a majority of the shots, and got some shots at some other places too.
Yeah, down by what was it, under the railroad tracks? Or yeah,
Yep.
that was good. Yeah, I still remember the final scene where they're walking away on the tracks. That came out pretty good. Now, how long have you personally been into the whole music scene?
Well, I wouldn't say I was into the music scene when I was 4, because I was 4 and I didn't know what the music scene was.
Recording at 4.
But my parents got me started really young. I started to learn the piano when I was 4, so I was classically trained. I learned how to read music. I learned sight reading, and from there, I went on to play in marching band. And band in middle school and band in high school, and
what did you play?
I played tuba, and then
which is a big boy. You can carry off the tuba.
6'3". I'm 6'3". So I did the tuba, and then I also got to play the sousaphone, which is essentially the tuba, but it wraps around you for marching band. Mm-hmm. And after that, I started to stray away from music in college. I guess I was getting distracted. Imagine that, getting distracted.
I'm not even going to ask you what distracted you.
Yeah, we won't go into that. But
next,
I got distracted, and needless to say, I was in my senior year, and I hadn't touched an instrument in forever, and I had an extra elective, and I was like, I'm going to take a music class because I missed music. So I took an acoustic guitar course. And I'd never picked up an acoustic guitar. I was taking the class, and I learned really quick that I sucked at the guitar. And I learned really quick that I didn't want to learn how to use it. But in the back of my head, I'm like, I used to play piano, and I know all this stuff I'm trying to learn on guitar. I could do this on piano. So I went out and I picked up a Casio. I've still got it at the house. And I started playing piano, and then I was like, I want to record something. And then it just got back under my skin, and I've just been nurturing it ever since.
All right. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the songs you've done with Chris Youngblood?
Okay, so the album we're working, technically we're not working on it anymore because we finished his second album. We finished the mastering process. It was about 2 months ago. So it's done. It's called Daybreak. And Chris wrote this album, and he was going through what I hope is the darkest patch of his life, because I don't want to ever see him go through what he had to go through again. And he wrote such excellent material, and so there's probably 2 or 3 songs on the CD that are just fun songs,
right?
And he just did them just because he wanted to have something. I don't want to say pop on the CD, but he wanted something simple that people could relate to, a party song. Mm-hmm. Actually, one of the songs you're going to play for us, Typical Country Friday Night, that's just kind of like a feel-good country party song. Mm-hmm. But most of the album is very dense. It takes you to some dark places. The second track we'll play later, Jesse James, is one of the darker songs he has. And we started working on it, and it's taken 2 years. I mean, people call me up, and they're like, hey, I want to make a CD with you. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, it's going to take a while. And they're so impatient, they don't even want to entertain a conversation
I know
for how long it takes.
I have somebody calls me up and asks me to edit a music video for them, and they always want it the day before they send me the music.
Yeah, I mean, film is at least an hour a minute. And,
at least.
Yeah, and when you're talking music,
generally it's 3 to 4
and
hours.
And with music videos, when you have dozens and dozens and dozens of cuts per minute,
yep.
It's no simple task to just sit down and plop that out. It's not that easy.
Well, I always go back to this one thing I heard once when they made the movie Shrek. It took a full team of editors, an 8-hour day, to get 4 minutes of show.
Wow. And the team was probably pretty big.
Yes, and that's the thing is that people don't get it when, I get somebody, I've actually had people say, listen, I've got this video I've shot and recorded my song, and I want you to make a music video out of it, and I want the special effects put in and everything else, and they want a price up front before I even see what they shot or what the music is. And they expect it for like $20.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you can spend a week, 2 weeks doing one music video.
Yep.
And
easily.
They don't get it. But all right, is there anything special you want to tell us about this song, Typical Country Friday Night?
What I already said, it's a country pop tune. It's just supposed to be feel good. It kicks off the album, sets a little bit of tone for us. And we do have it out there. That's on our YouTube channel as well. We don't have a video behind it. In fact, we don't have any music videos yet for this CD. We have 2 planned, but I gotta say the hardest thing about being I guess I'd call myself an amateur at this, even though I'm trying to make money at it, is finding time, people's schedules, lining up. Everybody I work with has a day job and, in a family. So, that's one of the reasons it took us 2 years to get, a 10-song CD together.
That's crazy.
Is we could find 2 hours a week if we were lucky to work together, but we're both committed and we both love what we do. So I really hope your audience likes this first track.
All right, here it is from Chris Youngblood.
Puts his boots on and his favorite jeans, buttons up his shirt, rolls up his sleeves, leaves his troubles behind. This Friday night, he calls his buddy up, says he's ready to go, grabs a couple beers and a pack of smokes, pulls out of the drive. 'Cause it's Friday night. Oh, the moon is out, the shine tastes good. We're gonna raise some hell out in these woods. It's your typical country Friday night, with coolers packed with beers on ice, and girls all around like a foot and pipe. Typical country Friday night, with poison bud and apple pie, keeping it round that bonfire light. Oh, it's Friday night. Party's going on when some girls rolled in, jumped out of that truck with some Jack and Jim, and they'll be feeling alright, 'cause it's Friday night. Couple hours pass, so he walks on up, said, I'd love to take you, girl, back to my truck. She said, hell, alright, 'cause it's Friday night. Oh, moon is out, the shine tastes good. We're gonna make some love out in these woods. It's a typical country Friday night, with coolers packed with beers on ice, girls all around like a soda and pipe. Typical country Friday night, with Coors and Bud and apple pie, kicking it round that bonfire light. Yeah. Oh, it's Friday night. a typical country Friday night with coolers packed with beers on ice, girls all around looking so damn fine. Typical country Friday night with Coors and Bud and apple pie, kicking it around that bonfire light. Oh, it's Friday night.
All right, that was Typical Country Friday Night by Chris Youngblood. Now, Richard, how long does it take to make that one song? How long did it take?
Well, it would. Wow, you put me on the spot there.
I love doing that.
Altogether, so like I said, we spent about 2 years on the album, and we were fortunate if we could get 2 hours a week to work together. Like I was telling you off the air, one of the hardest things in the music industry when you're not part of the music industry, when you're trying to break in, is you have to have a regular job to make ends meet.
Right.
So between my job, between his job, between my family, between his family, we could spend about 2 hours a week, which is what we dedicated to. So 2 years, 50 weeks a year, that's 100 weeks times 2, that's 200 hours. So we put at least 200 hours into the album.
Wow.
There's 10 songs on it, so that was probably about 20 hours at least. And that doesn't include, I mean, I've listened to that song probably 200 times.
Do you get tired of it?
Just to,
You get to where you start changing the lyrics in your head?
No, well, the thing is, when you're working on music, it's exciting because you get to change things. Mm-hmm. So even though I've listened to it 200 times, out of that 200, it sounded different 150 of those times. Right. Maybe I'm tweaking the hi-hats on this take, or maybe I'm going in and teasing out the vocals on this one, or backing off the kick drum on this. So I'm always listening for, is it a balanced mix? And then if I think I've got a balanced mix, then the challenge is to try and listen to it and enjoy it, right? And if I can't listen to it and enjoy it, and I get pulled out of it for something, then damn it, I got to go back and work on it again, and I got to change something in the settings. I got to fix something. But yeah, 20 hours, give or take.
Wow. What gets me a lot when I'm editing is after so many hours after hours after hours of editing, especially a video, like where I'm doing a short movie, say even a 15-minute movie, 20-minute movie, I've seen it so much that I actually hate the final sit back and watch the movie to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. I get impatient watching the damn thing. It's like, all right, come on, I know this thing backwards, forwards, and sideways, and I've gotten sick of it already.
Well, I don't have any 15 or 20-minute songs, so I don't really have a frame of reference there. But as far as the whole album, I guess is 40, 45 minutes. But for me, I get excited for that moment when I listen to it and I realize I'm done, and just the natural high of completing something that I've been working on and enjoying the hard work is it's worth it for me. I love it. I do.
Well, as Richard was talking about the musicians and all having day jobs, that's what this show is really about. It's about the musicians who are pushing their way up, but it's not their main income, or at least not yet it isn't. And this is just my way of creating a show to help get some playtime out there and give a boost to those musicians who are kind of in that point where they still got their 9-to-5 jobs or whatever it is, to support the family, and they're having to do this nights and weekends to make their music. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this next song, Jesse James?
Jesse James, This is going to be the hardest rock song. Well, this is the closest thing we have to a rock song on his album. He's actually got a scorching lead in here. A local artist who does a lot of open mics. His name's Jamie Seeley. We were able to rope him in to do the lead on this song. And I tell you what, it's so much fun working with a really good musician who's awesome at their craft. We brought him in, and it was about a 2-hour session, and he got this lead. And there's stuff in there that I just can't even dream. You know, my dreams aren't even this crazy, but somehow he's able to just like tease all this craziness out. But this song is this song might be our lowest point on the album. It's that point where Chris he was having some trouble looking in the mirror. And this song came out, and then the song that comes after it, which you won't hear tonight, called Stand Tall, that one's really the crown jewel of the album, where he started to come back and bring things together. But this song represents a lot of the chaos and turmoil he was going through.
Well, I want to ask someone personal. I know Chris Youngblood, and he performed for me at a concert I did, and I want to say that, Chris, if you're listening, I love your music, and I want people to know that of all the musicians I worked for or with, Chris was one of the nicest guys and a true gentleman, and I had a lot of admiration for him, not only as a musician, but as a person.
He's one of the best people I know.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't.
All right, here's Jesse James. I hope you folks out there will enjoy it.
Stop. Because we are overwhelmed with the power of evil. Stop it. Inside and out. Stop!
It was quite a song. That was really good. Do you know if Chris is listening tonight?
I do not. I don't know.
Well, if you are listening, Chris, excellent work, and wish you a lot of luck on the CD. And I think you do well with it. And Richard here and you make a great team.
Thank you.
So now Richard's done some other things that I had a small part in. Years ago, I don't know how many. I lose track of time. Really.
Yeah, what use is it?
Yeah, right. As you get older, there was a young lady, Chase Martin, and I was down at the Apollo one night, and they had a talent contest. Chase Martin was 14 years old, had recently moved to the area, got up on stage, and at 14 years old, with a last-minute entry, she won top prize for overall talent award for the entire show. And I was so impressed by her that I waited for her to come off stage, and I got her and her father together and offered her her own TV show on macetv.net.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
she's got a great set of pipes.
Oh, my
She
goodness.
can sing.
Yes, amazing singer, and I'm going to play one of her songs in just a little bit, but she did so well, and she worked really hard at it. Her show ran for a full year on Mace TV, and she and Richard got together, and she did a CD with Richard.
Yes, we did.
Yep, and I remember I filmed one night of you guys recording.
I remember that. I do.
I don't know whatever happened to that film. It was on. I had it on Mace TV for a while, but
Okay.
I don't know what happened to it.
Yep. Yeah, she came out, and she'd never written any music before, and I had just finished Chris's first album, and Chris was looking for something to do, and I said, Chris, do you have any interest in writing some music that perhaps she could write some lyrics to? So Chris put together some good stuff for us, and Chase wrote a couple of the songs. I think she wrote the lyrics for Wind.
Okay. What about No Sympathy? What was that?
That I think she wrote the lyrics on that one as well. That's more of like a blues standard, so I don't know
Yeah.
if we can take credit for the music, right?
Well,
Because
she-
it was just a 12-bar blues, if I recall.
It's turned into one of my favorite songs of all time.
She did a great job on it, and it's funny. It took a good many takes because she's very young, and
How old was she when you recorded this?
she would have been 16 or 17.
I thought she was more like 15 at the time.
I'm pretty sure she was. Yeah,
It wouldn't be 17, I know that. She was 15 while she was doing the show on Mace TV.
Yeah.
She was 15.
But at any rate, it was difficult because it was a blues song, and she's got youth to her. Singing the blues, you have to be able to draw on some darkness from your life.
Right.
I feel, to be effective at
And
the
your blues music cheers you up
And,
sometimes.
you know,
Well, often cheers you up.
she's had a decent life. So
Yeah.
we really had to the take you heard. We really had to figure out what she could pull on from her personal life to get the blues out of her, right? And but once she tapped into it, she nailed it, and it sounded spectacular. That's one of the better things I think we've put together on my label.
Yep. And now, take a very short commercial break here. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, artbyweeze.com. There's a link to her website on the webpage. And check it out. She does some amazing artwork, and you can have originals done or buy some prints. And that pays the bills for the show so far. So I'm going to go ahead and play Chase Martin's song. And she was somewhere in the 15, 16-year-old range when she recorded this. And that I mention that because the maturity in her voice is really amazing.
You can knock on my door, but I'm not gonna answer until you have heard a piece of my mind. You can knock on my door, but you know you'll be waiting for a long time. 'Cause I'm tired of waiting for someone to know when they've crossed the line. Ain't got no sympathy, no, no, for the lonely who aren't alone. Ain't got no sympathy, oh no. So take your drama home. Don't know what you expect from me. A hug, a kiss, a reassurance that you're sane. Ain't got no sympathy.
And we're back. And this is Dan Live with Richard Bowen of Whale Hunter Records on having some talk about music this evening. Richard, thanks for coming in again.
No problem. I just want to thank you for giving me a platform to get some of my music out there. The world is so saturated with music. I mean, it's a good thing because I love listening to music, and it's accessible. I was telling you earlier, it's like water. It's everywhere. I mean, you got Pandora and Rhapsody and iTunes and all these platforms. It's really, really hard in this day and age to rise above the noise in any meaningful fashion.
Right.
So any opportunity I get to let people know about my label, the artists that we're putting out there, I just love to have that opportunity. So thank you.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure to have you in. And Richard's a great guy. Like I said, we've worked together before over the years, and we always enjoyed our friendship, our association. Now, do you have a website that you'd like to tell people they can check out? Or
Sure. Well, whalehunterrecords.com is our website. We've got a videos tab on there that has links to most of our YouTube videos. And if you check us out on YouTube, you can probably get in there and just stick Whale Hunter Records in the search bar, and you'll see, I think we got 8 or 9 videos up there. 4 of them, 3 of them are music videos, and then we have just a couple little live performances from Chris and whatnot. So, yeah, definitely check us out on the interwebs.
I had a lot of fun with, when I was doing Talk of the Town show, April Crable was a show host at one point, and she had Chris Youngblood and Lowens,
Justin
Lowens, and I kept wanting to say Jocelyn, that's his wife.
Yeah, yep.
Gosh, she's a phenomenal woman, and she did a show for me too about art.
Yeah.
But I shot Chris and Justin on a blue screen, and they were both playing acoustics, I think. And then I sat them on the Rings of Saturn for a music video of them doing the song Sitting on the
I
Rings of
think
Saturn.
I remember seeing that,
Yeah,
yes.
that was fun. That was fun. So, you folks out there, if you have any comments or anything about this, go ahead and email them to me. There's an email link on the website on maceradio.com. I want to thank everybody personally for tuning in. Don't forget, Monday nights is my all blues shows, and we're going to be doing some more live shows, more recorded shows soon. So I'm going to go ahead and end this show for the evening, and I may be back later on doing another show for all you friends of mine out there, Thank you again. Don't forget to check out artbyweeds.com. Richard, thanks again for coming in.
Oh, it was my pleasure, Dan. Nice to be here.
All right, everybody. Good night, and God bless.
Thank you.